I'm Robbie Meehan and I'm a geologist, and I'm standing in the base of a dry river bed. And when we think of dry river beds, we think of places like the deserts in the US, places like Arizona, where you have rivers that are effectively dry throughout the year. We think of places like the Mediterranean, Greece and Italy and Spain, where there's very little water for the majority of the year also. And in Ireland, we do have streams that go dry, particularly in our mountain areas during the summer. But this is a big, wide river bed. It's about 20 meters wide. The river itself, during winter, is about 2 meters deep. But here in July 2022, there's not a sign of water. And that is nothing to do with climate change. This river here, the O'Nahry River, just outside Castledaly between Gort and Loughrea, goes dry practically every year. And the reason it goes dry is somewhat related, all right, to the lower amounts of rainfall, but it's to do with the geology of this locality. Further downstream, a couple of hundred meters down, the O'Nahry River is still flowing. It's shallow, but the base of the river at that point is mud and sand. So there's a substrate over which it can pass easily, and it will not seep down underground. Where we are now is on pure Burren limestone. This is the same limestone that occurs right across the Burren. And if you think about the Burren is a dry, almost arid landscape. Has high rainfall, but the rainfall all seeps down through the cracks, the enlarged fissures at surface, the clints and the grikes within the limestone itself, to an underground river network. And we have something similar here at the O'Nahry River. And this river has a nice story associated with it. Back in the early 1800s, there was a number of swallow holes mapped on the first edition 6-inch sheets in the field just to my left here. And at that time, just a few years later, the drainage commissioners deepened and drained this river and straightened it. And when that was done, it actually unearthed the limestone. The idea initially was to try and take the swallow holes out of commission, but because the limestone was opened up, the river still disappeared underground. And each summer, this is a dry stretch of riverbed because beneath the ground, the water is flowing, but we can't see it. So the moral of this story, I think, really is that in terms of the natural environment, in terms of our natural history, the time that you visit has a big influence on what you're going to see. So if you're going to record the geology of your locality, if you're going to map it, if you're going to observe it, it needs to be observed throughout the year, and ideally over a number of years, to see what the patterns are and to see what elements influence that locality that you're living in. And this is the beauty of Ireland. Every spot has a different story associated with it. It's all related to our natural environment. It's related in some sense to the weather as well, and it's related to our shared history, our heritage, and our hidden subsurface.